Hello everybody, it's Julie Zommers back here from Truly Maddy Deeply Happy. Now, if you've watched the first video, your introduction to EFT, what I'm going to say to you is I really believe that you need to learn things on a need-to-know basis. So if you're still wondering exactly what it's about and you've got one of those minds where you need to know every single thing about everything before you can proceed, I'm going to encourage you to not do that this time, because I think our subconscious mind is very, very clever when it comes to putting stuff off, you know. It's like, oh, well, I can't possibly learn this until I've done this or this or this and know it thoroughly, but it really isn't essential. So in this EFT training, what we're going to do is learn where the tapping points are and how to tap, how many fingers to use, all that sort of thing, and what to say while you're tapping. So we'll go through the points first. Now, where you do a karate chop, where you go like that, this is called your karate chop point. I know it's a bit of a strange name, isn't it? But that's all right, bear with me. What we do is we're just tapping gently. Now, you can use 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 2 fingers, whatever you're most comfortable with. It's a very forgiving modality, and I just want you to do whatever feels natural. You're just tapping here, and while we're tapping on this point here, we'll be saying our setup statement, okay? And it'll go something like this. So I'm going to choose something fairly general to all of us. So let's talk about stress. Okay? So even though I have all this stress in my life and I can never relax. Now, this is what you say next, and some people have a problem with saying this, so I'll say what we normally say. I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway. Now, if you struggle with that, and some people do, because they come to me with a problem and they think, well, I don't, I really hate myself actually. And therein lies the problem. If you're going to heal, you've really got to say, you know what, this is where I'm up to right now. So we'll go, even though I'm just so full of stress, I can just never relax. If you can't say, I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway, just say, I'm still a good person. Or, I'm still okay, or everything's going to be okay. And we usually say this setup statement 3 times. So we go, even though I'm full of stress, I'm still a good person. Even though I'm just so full of stress, I just snap at everyone and I'm really just, I wish I could have a holiday. I'm still a good person. And even though I'm so full of stress, I love and accept myself. So any of those words will be fine. And then once we've set up our mind to really focus on what's going on, we start tapping. Now the first point is the top of our head. Now if we were suspended by a bit of string, that's where you tap. And all you're doing when you're tapping on these points is saying a little reminder, just to keep us focused, so we don't sort of, our minds don't wander off and start thinking about when am I going to pick the kids up? Oh, I might be cooking this for dinner. Oh, I haven't rung that person. All of that sort of thing that our minds can just sort of float away. We say reminder phrases to keep us focused on us and what's worrying us. All this stress. That's all you have to say, just something to keep you focused. Now the next point is just between the eyebrows, just there, all of this stress. The next point is on the side of the eye, just on the bony bit there, all of this stress. That's all you have to say, just something to keep your brain focused. These are all acupuncture points. And then under the eye here, on the socket, you'll feel the bony bit. Once again, use 2 fingers, use 3 fingers, use both hands if you want. Easy. Whatever's most comfortable. All of this stress. We're going to say the same words for under the nose. Just tapping here. All of this stress. And just in the bit that goes in your chin, in that little cleft. All of this stress. And just if you put your hands on your collarbone and just pull your fingers down till you're on the flesh. All of this stress. So we're not actually, even though it's called the collarbone point, it's really under the collarbone, just on the fleshy bit, all of this stress. And then under your arm, I just get the flat of my hand and just pat it. It's on your bra strap, or for guys, it's just in line with your chest. All of this stress. One of my favourite points too is the inner wrist. All of this stress. And you take a big breath in and you release it. Now what we should have done before we started is just gauge the problem on a scale of 1 to 10. So if you're so stressed out of your brain that you can't stop thinking about how stressed you are, that would be a 10. If it's like, oh, yeah, I'd like to get a bit more me time, it might be 5. And if you don't know, like I said, every single part of this process is getting away from trying to do things perfectly, like near enough's good enough. And if you're tapping here instead of tapping down a little bit further, it doesn't matter. You'll naturally gravitate towards the right spot after you start working with yourself, okay? So on a scale of 1 to 10, when I began, or when you began tapping then, just ask yourself what it was. Was it an 8? Was it you really, really stressed? Was it a 10? Was it a like, a little bit? Was it a 3? Because what we do is, as we keep tapping the rounds, and this is called a round, going from your head down to your wrist, what we do is we sort of sit with it after we've done a round, go, what is it now? It might be the same. It might have come down a little bit. It's just a really good way, because what can happen with tapping is it works so fast, you forget how you felt at the beginning, which is a good thing probably, but you don't actually see the incredible change that it makes within you. So let's just go through this again. Side of the hand here, even though, and say it's come down to from an 8 to a 7 now. Even though I've been feeling really stressful, I'm still a good woman. Even though I've been feeling really stressful, I'm doing my best. And even though I feel really stressful, I love and accept myself. Top of the head, I've been feeling so stressed. All of this stress. All of this stress. And you can say anything that pops into your mind. Like I said, this is just speaking on these points, when you're tapping on these points, is just a reminder. It's just a reminder of, it's to keep your mind focused. Oh, I wish I could get more help. I'm just so tired all the time. I just feel so stressed. I feel so stressed. All of this stress. Just tap along with me. Hopefully you've been doing that. I feel all of this stress. Make sure you always take a big breath in and let it go. Now, if you find that you're yawning a lot in this process, or you're sort of, or sighing, or doing whatever you're doing, it's great. It's energy shifting. Okay, and this is what we're after. We want this energy to shift. So now, say if it's around down to a 5, or it might, sometimes it just drops dramatically, really quickly. To say, even though I still have this stress, I love and accept myself. And on the setup statement, you can say exactly the same thing 3 times if you want. Even though I have this stress, it's been really getting on top of me, I love and accept myself anyway. And even though I've been a total stress head for the last month, I love and accept myself anyway. I'm doing my best. Okay. So this point here is where we acknowledge what's going on for us, and also reassuring ourselves that we're still a good person anyway. Over the head once again. I have all this stress. All this stress. Once again, you keep tapping on these points, all of these points, until it comes right down to a 1 or a 2. Ideally, it comes down to a 0, but sometimes there's a little bit left there. After we've done that, we're going to start putting in some positive statements. So you would start here again on the karate chop point. Even though I've been feeling so stressed, I'm choosing to find a way to let go of some of the stress in my life. So it's making a choice. You're just suggesting to your subconscious that it doesn't have to stay like this. Even though I have all this stress, I've been really wearing it like a badge almost. That may not be the case for you. I love and accept myself anyway, and I'm willing to know that I can change, that I can make some changes. And even though I've been holding on to this stress, I love and accept myself, and I'm willing to know that I can change this. Top of the head. I had all this stress. Did you see how I put that in past tense? I've had all of this stress. I'm choosing to let it go. I don't know if I can. So you're just basically having a little to and fro conversation with yourself. I've had all this stress. I'm choosing to let it go. I'm choosing to know that I cannot stay in this stress state. It's really bad for me. I'm choosing to take better care of myself. Now, sometimes you can just keep going, okay? I'm choosing to ask for help. I'm choosing to delegate where I can. I'm choosing to just accept the fact that I can only do what I can do. I'm choosing to let go of my superwoman cape. I'm choosing to love and respect myself enough to look after myself and take time out for me. I'm choosing to take baby steps that are manageable. I'm choosing to reach out for other people's grip. Not be ashamed to ask for help. Take a big breath in and release. Now, hopefully you will have a sense of calm that you didn't at the beginning. So I always like you to check back in with that original number and go, wow, when I started this it was pretty much an 8 or it was up there. Actually, it's sort of, yeah, I think I might just start to look at a few ways that I can change this. So basically what we've learned in this video is we've learnt the tapping points. I'm going to go through them again just once more for you, and also on my website trulymadlydeeplyhappy.com. Of course, all the points are there and what to say, and there's a couple of videos in there just reminding you. So I'll do it once more here though. This is where you tap. Doesn't matter how many times, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. Sometimes I do really quick taps. This is where you say the setup statement, acknowledging what's going on for you, how it makes you feel, and that you're still a good person anyway. Even though I have this, I'm still a good person. Even though I had that, I love myself anyway. You get the drift. Top of the head point, exactly where you'd be suspended by a bit of string. Eyebrow point in between the 2 eyebrows. Okay. Do you use 2, 3, 4 fingers? It doesn't matter, whatever's comfortable. Do you just tap on one side of the face or both? It's up to you. I usually do the symmetrical ones together, and then these ones just like that, under the chin, under the collarbone, just patting under your arm, wrist point. Take a big breath in. And it's a really good idea when you're tapping also to keep yourself hydrated, because with that shift of energy it can you just really need to get it all flowing, and water really helps. So I always have a glass of water when you do a bit of a tap. When you're doing a longer one, sometimes you can't do that. Like sometimes I'll just tap in the shower. I'll go, oh, this person that pushes my buttons. Letting it go, letting it go. Sometimes I just choose one point and tap on that. If I just want a really quick tap, this seems to be a favourite point of mine that I can get calm really quick. Some people have their favourite points. Well, this is mine. I just get the shower going. Oh no, just letting it go. Whatever. So you can apply the whole rounds, and that's the ideal situation. But if you're getting yourself into a bit of a anxious state or uptight or anything during the day, you can always just duck off to the loo or go for a walk in the park and just have a quiet little tap. Just tap. You don't need to tap on all the points. Just calm yourself down. Just focus on what it is. Even though I have this, I love myself anyway. So I'll see you in the next video. And in the third video, we're just going to be looking at another few little bits and pieces about tapping that I think might be of interest. Okay, see you then. Julie Zommers signing off.